So I do appreciate that your members are looking for clarity on specific issues, such as the future of direct payments, the prospects for seasonal agricultural workers, and access to the single market, to name just a few. And I don't for 1 minute underestimate the importance of these. Meeting with farmers in Somerset, Glamorgan, Sussex, Herefordshire, and in my own constituency of South Northamptonshire, I've heard the concerns of your members firsthand. And I want to be clear that as a major contributor to the UK economy, contributing close to £110 billion each year, there is no doubt that there will be support for our vital food and farming industry after we leave the EU. But I'm not going to stand here today and preempt the work the government is doing to get the best possible deal for the UK. Those negotiations will take time, and change is, of course, inevitable. But I want you to know that I will fight your corner at every opportunity, and fight for the huge contribution you make to our communities, to our environment, and to our economy. So I don't have final answers today, but I do want this morning to outline my ambition for a future, more prosperous farming industry. I recognise that around 60% of exports go direct to the EU, and that 4 of our 5 biggest markets are there. The EU is our most important trading partner, a fact that won't change when we leave, and a relationship we are determined to uphold. As the Prime Minister outlined last month, we want tariff-free and frictionless cross-border trade with Europe. So with 0 tariffs and 0 non-tariff barriers as our starting point, we are striving for the best possible access for our farmers and food exporters. And our 2015 manifesto states that high animal welfare standards will be incorporated into international trade agreements. I'm committed to honouring this pledge and working with industry to improve our welfare standards, whilst ensuring that we are not put at a competitive disadvantage.
Brexit discussions are ongoing, but that doesn't preclude you actually making a commitment to helping farmers in the UK with subsidies going forward after 2020. What is your commitment to that exactly?
Well, I think I've been as clear as I can be today that we will continue to support British food and farming, of course. And so what exactly that will take the form of is set out in those 5 principles. You know, I've talked about trade, resilience, animal health and welfare, the importance of the environment, the importance of risk mitigation and so on. So each of those 5 principles is an area that we want to look at for what sort of level of support farmers will need to make sure we've got that productive sector going forward.
There seems to be a strong desire to create a trade deal with the US post-Brexit. How can you guarantee we don't get a flood of kind of lower quality US meat into the UK?
So, you know, the US is a really important partner for the UK. It's a very clear priority relationship for us. But in any free trade arrangement, there are 2 sides to that. And we've been very clear in our manifesto that high animal welfare standards will be a core part of any international free trade arrangements. And I've been very clear that we will not seek to put ourselves in an uncompetitive position by reducing welfare or food safety or food traceability standards. It's a very key, unique selling point for the UK that we don't want to do anything to undermine.
I was wondering, when you're looking at the farm worker issue, are you thinking about casting the net more widely, maybe looking at countries like Ukraine as a possible source of farm workers, or are you mainly looking at maybe schemes to allow EU workers to come?
Well, you know, the issue of migrant workforce, temporary or permanent workforce, is obviously something that's a cross-government issue. It's led by the Home Office. We are feeding into it. We're taking soundings from the NFU and from farm groups and other stakeholders, including food processors and so on, as to what their needs are. And then we will be looking across government at what the right solution is for that.